So come to standing. Feet comfortably apart. Lift your toes and then press the feet into the ground and then release the toes back down. Lift and roll your shoulders. And then breathing in, turn the head to the left. Turn the head to the right. Breathing in to the left. And out to the right. And then come back to the centre. Bring the hands to the heart centre and have a sense of, as you breathe in, just slightly engage the perineum. As you breathe out, relax it. You will instantly forget that, but I might remind you for the practice just occasionally. And then breathing in, circle the arms up, really stretch up, looking either forward or up slightly, depending on your neck capacity. Palms together, and then come down through the centre. Soften the knees, and we're going to do this a few times. Stretching up, extend the third fingers, palms together, come down through the centre. Bend the knees, again up, and then just circle the hands down. And again, up, circle the hands down, and up. Open the hands out within your capacity to, what do you call this? You've all got there anyway. And feet hip width apart. Really soften the knees and come to bend forward, taking hold of the elbows. If you're finding that you're getting a head rush and this is too much, then come up a little bit. And then if that's within your capability, begin to straighten the legs so that the hip bones are high. Soften the knees at any point if that's too much for you. And then soften the knees, release the hands back down to the ground, and rolling up vertebra by vertebra to standing. And we're going to, which we did the other day, bounce. So bouncing sets a vibration up in the body. You can be energetic and really lift your feet off, or you can start very gently and just lift your heels. If you want to be more bouncy, you can more bounce. But whatever you will bounce, and then just start to slow down and just notice the energy in your body, slightly different. Breathing in, hands up. And the same thing, just release the wrists and just bounce. Hands down and down. And then just stop. No heart attack, so you managed all of that. And then step out, your feet a little bit wider. Hands up. And we're going to twist, but a little bit more vigorously than we normally do. So twist to one side, the one hand goes over the shoulder, the other hand at the back of the bottom waist. And then twist, and then twist, and twist, oops, twist, twist. And then we're just going to speed up, moving all your energies, demolishing the blind behind me. Just carry on twisting as I sort the blind out. And then very gently slow that movement down. And then come to standstill. Lift and roll the shoulders. Breathing in, raise the hands up. Stretch the third finger, look up, And breathing out, lower the hands. Come to breathe in, turn the palms up and out. Bring the palms back, turn them down, push them away and back, and then lower the palms. Breathing in, palms up and out. Bring them back, palms down and away, back, and then lower. Again, palms up and forward, back, palms down, back, and lower. And last time, palms up and forward, back, palms down, back, and lower. Lift and roll one shoulder, lift and roll the other shoulder. Lift and roll both shoulders. Hands out. Just look up slightly. Second finger to the root of the thumb. And then bring the head upright and hug yourself coming forward. Just sway very gently from side to side. Press the feet down and come up. Open the arms. And then hug with the other arm on top if you've forgotten, don't worry. And just sway from side to side. Press your feet down. Open the palms, looking up, and then just bring your head to the center. Hands on the waist, feet a little bit hip width apart, and just hula hoop, swirling the waist round in one direction. This is moving all your lower abdominal energy, which can get very sluggish at this time of the year. And then swirling around in the other direction. So I don't think any of you, Patsy has, attended Jules's belly dancing, but this is one of the opening sequences where you just swirl your abdominal muscle move round. And I think I've said before that ballerinas are not great at doing this because it's losing control. It's having that fluidity of movement, whereas ballerinas are very, very controlled in their movement. They find this quite difficult. And then just coming to lifting and rolling the shoulders and coming to, I'll stay here, some half salutes to the sun. Breathing in, breathing out, hands together at the heart center. Breathing in, circling the hands up, stretching up, palms touch. Come down, back through the center, bend the knees to rest on the shins. As you breathe in, have a sense of lengthening from the tailbone to the top of the head. Breathing out, soften inwards. And breathing in, lengthening again. Stay here as you breathe out. And breathing in, soften the knees, press the feet into the ground and roll up vertebra by vertebra to standing. Hands up, stretching up, and lower the hands. Lift and roll the shoulders. Breathing in, breathing out, hands together at the heart center. Breathing in, circling the hands up, stretch up, palms together, bend the knees, come through the center, place the hands on the shins, half lift, breathing out, soften the knees, bend in, soften the elbows, breathe in, half lift, and stay here as you breathe out. And then soften the knees, press the feet down and roll up vertebra by vertebra to standing. Stretch up and lower the hands. And one more time as we hands together at the heart center. Circle the arms up, stretching up. Palms together. Come through the heart center, bending the knees. Hands on the shins. Half lift. Feel as you breathe in, you're engaging your perineum upwards slightly. All the Muladhara chakras are engaged. And your tummy comes in. Breathing out, soften the knees, soften the elbows. Breathe in, half lift again, attention to the perineum. And stay here as you breathe out. And then breathing in, soften the knees and roll up vertebra by vertebra to standing. Hands up. And then just lower. So, how are you kneeling? Okay. Okay. I've taken on the board about downward dog, so I'll have that as an option. Come to the top of your mat, hands together, circle your hands up, almost go backwards, and then soften the knees to come forwards, and bring your hands to either side of your feet. Step back with your right foot. Just extend it for a moment and then drop the right knee to the ground. Your back right toes can be tucked under or your right foot can be flat, you choose. If you're able to come up onto your fingertips, don't worry if you can't, lighten the pose and feel that you're lengthening along the spine and looking up. Tummy in, bring the hands back down to the ground and slide your left leg back. So there's a choice here. For those of you who want to stay like this, then cat-cow, so you're dipping your back and then rounding the back, chin comes to the chest. And we'll do that again. But for those of you who want to do a downward dog, as we round our back, then we can tuck the toes, otherwise just round the back. And just come into a soft downward dog. Everybody else, or anyone who's staying in cat-cow, just again do your cat-cow movement. For those in downward dog, walk the dog. And stretch the legs back and then both knees back down to the ground. Hands to the left, right foot comes up. Hands to either side of the right foot. Just stretch forward into the right hip. And then just come with your bottom slightly back to extend the right leg. Your toes can be pointed or your toes can be up. And then just come back, resting your weight on your hands, and slide your right foot back. Breathing in, dipping the back, and breathing out, rounding the back, bringing the bottom towards the heels, stretching out in extended child's pose. Breathing in, lead with the chest as you dip your back, and then breathing out, rounding chest as you bring your bottom towards your heels. And again, lead with the chest, the elbows come in to dip the back, perhaps look forward if that's good for your neck, and then round, chin comes to chest, bottom comes towards the heels, and then come back up to tabletop position. And then move the hands to the right to step the left foot up, hands either side of the left foot. And just either on your fingertips or hands down, just extend into that left hip, looking up. Right toes can be tucked or flat. And then just coming back to bring the bottom towards slightly the heels, not a lot, extending the left leg, toes either up or pointing down, torso over the left leg. And then just release and slide the left foot back, kneeling into tabletop. Just sway the bottom from side to side. And then raise the right arm up to the right. And turn the palm upwards, the right palm upwards, and slide it underneath, behind the left hand, coming with the bottom high onto, you might not come onto the shoulder, you might come part way, but come, if you can, onto the shoulder and the side of the head, stretching out the right side. And again, if your bottom is up in the air, have a sense of breathing in through the perineum, as it breathing in, engaging the perineum slightly and relaxing and releasing as you breathe out. Engage the perineum to come and slide your right hand out. Again, just sway from side to side, and you might want to bring your head movement into this. It should be a natural movement that you turn your head from side to side, looking slightly over one shoulder and then the other. Imagine looking at yourself as if you were a fish. You know, as a fish swirls from side to side. And then come back to tabletop and raise the left hand up slightly, and then slide the left hand up, palm upwards to the right, bottom upwards, onto the right, onto the left side of the head, left shoulder, and feel the slight twist in the left side of the back. Use your right hand to press down onto into the earth and to support you. Breathing in, perineum engages slightly, and breathing out, releases and relaxes. And then very, very gently come back to all fours. Knees slightly apart, big toes together, and come to child's pose. You can either stretch your hands in front of you, or if you'd like a more classic child's pose, then just come to turn your palms up. And if you don't like this because you're feeling that your head's not on the ground, you can bring your hands so that one fist is on top of the other, or one palm on top of the other, and rest your forehead on the fists, which keeps your spine parallel to the ground and is very restful for the heart. Child's pose is a forward bend, and it's very restful for the brain too. It's a calming pose for the nervous system. And while you're here, breathing in, engage the perineum, and then breathing out, release the perineum. And breathing in, just engage the perineum, and breathing out, release the perineum. And then just gently come out of that, just press the hands on the ground. If you're able to kneel up, please do. If you want padding underneath you, if not kneeling up, if kneeling up is actually crucifying for you, then we'll stand up. How are you doing? And raising the hands up, clasp and reverse, look up slightly, only if that's good for your neck. Then bring the head back up to upright. Just go to the left away from the right waist and look up, if that's accessible to you. Keep looking up as you come back to the center, stretch up, and then go to the other side. Just go to the right away from the left waist, and then stretching up, and then releasing the hands, lifting and rolling the shoulders. And then come to kneeling and just moving your bottom to the side. And before we come to lying and moving through our yoga on lying on the mat, I'm just going to invite you to lift the flesh out from under your bottom. Hands to either side of you, lifting up, and then just release and relax your hands, leaning back slightly. And circulation, toes up and toes away, and up and away, and then just circling in one direction and circling in the other direction. Just bang the big toes together. You'll find this in Kundalini. You've done Kundalini, haven't you? Have you ever come across this?
Yeah.
Lots of times, about 50 times. It sets a vibration up in your body.
That's nice, actually.
Kundalini yoga. What can I tell you about? You do feel very energized after it. I haven't mainstreamed Kundalini because you do this, every position gets repeated several times, but they're very into chanting, and I get lost on the chanting, and then they are very into their turbans and their guru statusy kind of thingy. So that kind of possibly isn't me.
No.
But just bounce your legs. And then just rub your hands together, generating energy. Smooth your aura, rub your arms, and then just tap, rub, bounce, do whatever you want to do all over the body. Wake yourself up. And then, again, just checking if you can do this, bending up the right knee, turning the right knee out to the right, and just resting the right ankle on the leg. Well done. And then just start by having your left hand over your foot, and just bend the toes in and out. That might be enough for you. If you can thread your fingers through your toes, which might be agony, again, just bend them. And if Sue were here, she's in sunny Lanzarote at the moment.
Where is she?
Lanzarote. And she would say that where your fingers go down into the in between the toes is where your sinuses are, and sinuses at this time of the year can get very mucked up. And then another exercise which you might or might not enjoy is just release your hands, or keep them where they are, but release the hold on them, and then make your feet do the work. Make your toes go up and down. That's harder. And then just support your leg, just circle your ankle a couple of times with your hand, one way and then the other, and then hug your right knee into your chest and just stretch it out along the mat, and just bounce your legs again. If you want to pat and stroke, that's fine. And then hug your left knee into your chest, open your left knee to the left, on your left foot, wherever works for you. And then again, right hand over the toes. So this is very much into your circulation, opening where the toes join the feet is your lung meridians.
I can get that's like very different. My toes stick together. Yeah, very much. Yeah.
So if stay doing that then.
Yeah.
If you want to agonise yourself and then just thread your fingers through, please do. But if not, just stay with that. You can then start to swirl you can circle your feet. So with your hands threaded through, rather than up and down, you can circle them round as well. That's more agonising for me. And then you can stay like that, or you could just release and relax your hands, relax them rather, and let your feet do the work, which is more effort for your foot to up and down. And then just release, and as you lift your foot off, just circle the ankle in one direction and then circle the ankle in the other direction, and then just support the foot, the leg, as you place the foot on the floor, and just stretch the leg out again, and then just bounce and tap and do whatever. I was reading that this, when you go like that, it's a psychological thing which has been taken up by, I think, Paul McKenna, and it's some kind of psychological thing that it's very comforting. I don't know why, it goes into some meridians or it goes into some aspect of the brain that you do this, and it's bringing anxiety down.
So if it's very cold, you might do this.
And you might do it when you're
On a
very cold.
day, yeah.
But it looks a bit odd, I know, but there is some kind of psychological aspect to this that you can say, I'm really not stressed, and do all of that. So, but I only half picked up on what it was. So we are going to come to lie down on the mat and think of perineum. So again, if you can just breathe in, just slightly bring the perineum up, and the lower abdomen slightly towards the back, towards the spine. So it's just a sort of up and in action, but about 10% of your capacity. So come to lie on the mat, knees up, feet hip width apart, hands either palms down or resting on the abdomen. And we're just going to connect with our breath. In terms of noticing the hands moving, and increasing the nitric oxide in the body, which has lots of benefits. Breathe in through the nose and breathe out through the mouth for a couple of breaths. And carry on doing that, but just raise your hands up to your ribs, your lower ribs, your ribs comfortably on your ribs, which will open out under your arms a little bit more, giving more space for your lungs. And again, breathing in through the nose, slightly engaging your perineum if you remember, and releasing it as you breathe out through the mouth. And then just lightly bring your elbows in and touch your collarbones, and imagine the breath coming to fill up your body right up to the collarbones. Breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the mouth. And then just before we start, bring your hands back to the abdomen, or somewhere comfortable that's for you. And we're going to step the breath in. So you step it in 3 times. You breathe in through your nose a little bit, hold the breath, breathe in a little bit more, hold the breath, and breathe into the top of the breath. And then breathe out all in one go, through the nose or the mouth. Breathe in a little bit more, like a balloon, filling up to the top, and then releasing and letting go. And last time, breathing in a little bit more, up to the top, and releasing and letting go. And then just letting the breath go. That breath back, we're going to come to keeping the right foot where it is and hugging the left foot into the chest. That stepping breath that we've done is a way to increase your lung capacity. My understanding is, both from my sister-in-law, my late sister-in-law, and also another lady who came here, was that they do that at the Royal Brompton as part of the training for people with compromised breathing, like COPD, which is what I suppose my sister-in-law had. She had pulmonary fibrosis, but anyway, so it's a way of increasing the lung capacity. So hugging the left knee into the chest, just circling the left knee a couple of times in one direction. And then circling the left knee a couple of times in the other direction. and then hugging the left knee into the chest, dropping your hands to support under the left thigh and raising the left leg up to the ceiling, extending the left heel and pointing the toes, extend the left heel and point the toes. And then start to walk the hands up the back of the left leg, bringing the left leg towards you. If you need to bend your knee, that's fine. You might like to stay here with your hands up on the back of your leg and you have got your head on the ground. You might like to place one hand underneath the head and neck, and as you next breathe out, reverse breathing, lift the head up towards the left extended leg. And if you're very strong in your core, keeping the lower back on the floor, hold your left leg with both hands as long as you're not straining your head and neck. And then breathing out, slide the hands back down the back of the leg, hug the left knee into the chest, and open the left knee to the left, resting the left ankle on top of the right thigh. Hands, palms down on the floor or on your abdomen, and just sway both knees from side to side, and your hips may lift off the floor. You're opening up the lower groin, and you're also coming into a little muscle that connects the top of the leg with the hip, called the piriformis muscle, which is very implicated in lower back issues, as it pulls, and it can pull the leg and hip fractionally out of alignment. If you particularly want to take this a stage further, either carry on swaying your leg from side to side, but you can lift your right foot off the ground, clasp your hands underneath your right thigh or over your right knee, and hug your right leg in towards you, which will feel, you'll feel that on your outer hip even more. If not, just sway your legs from side to side, and then place your right foot on the floor, hug your left knee into your chest, and place your left foot onto the floor. And then hands resting on the abdomen or palms down as you sway your knees from side to side. Bring the knees to the centre and focus now on your right knee as you hug your right knee into your chest. Just check that the back of the neck's long, that you're not scrunching up in your neck. Just circle the right knee a few times in one direction. And your circle can be small or as wide as you like. It's just giving a full rotational movement of your leg in the hip socket, which is another very excellent way to keep hip mobility going. And then circle the knee in the opposite direction. Again, you choose your circle. And then hugging the right knee into the chest, drop your hands to underneath the back of your right leg and extend your right leg up to the ceiling. And then begin to walk the hands up the back of the right leg. Head is resting on the ground. You can then optionally either stay like this, take your hand behind your head and neck, breathing out, lifting your head up towards your extended right leg. And if you're very strong in your core and want to increase that, hold your right leg with both hands, looking to your big toe, your right big toe. And then very gently release your head back down to the ground. Hug your right knee into your chest. And then open your right knee to the right, placing your right ankle on top of the left thigh, hands, palms down or on the abdomen as you sway your knees, both of them from side to side. Massaging across the top with the bottom. I looked this up and I think it's a GB30, which will mean nothing to you, but it's a gallbladder meridian. So again, it's that sweet point at the top of the bottom that's being massaged. And then come to the centre. If either carry on swaying your legs, but if you want to lift your left leg off the floor, hold and support your left leg under the left thigh. and feel the stretch on the outside of your right thigh. And if you really want to take it a step further, hold the outside of your left knee. And if you want to take it another stage further, an option is to hold under your left thigh and raise the left leg up. That's sometimes a nice option as well. Depends where you are in your hip. And then bending the left knee into the chest, taking the right knee off, hugging both knees into the chest. And then letting both knees drift away from you, and still holding the knees to arm's length. Open the knees away from each other, circling them, and then hugging them back in towards your chest. Breathe in, let both knees drift away to arm's length. Open the knees, circle them around, and then hug them in towards your chest. And one more time, knees away from you to arm's length. Circle them, and then bring them back in. Now open your knees while they're hugged into your chest. Circle them, and they meet at the top with your arms away from you. Hug your knees into the chest. Circle them to meet at the top. And one more time. And then still holding both knees comfortably in a neutral position. Breathe in and raise the left leg to the ceiling, and left arm goes up and or behind you. The left elbow can be bent. You extend the left heel. And breathing out, hug the left knee into the chest again. Both knees are hugged into the chest. And breathing in, raise the right arm up above you and extend the right heel. And breathing out, hugging the right knee into the chest. And once more to each side in your own breath pattern, raising the left leg, left arm. And then hugging the left knee in. And then raising the right leg, right arm. And then hugging in. And then holding underneath both thighs. You might like to clasp your hands together. Raise both legs up. You don't have to stretch your heels. Just bend your knees and just sway slightly from side to side. If you're not clasping your hands, then just hold the backs of each leg. Always imagine yourself like seaweeds, swaying subtly as the water laps. You're just doing a very subtle inversion. Swaying and massaging over the top, the very base of the spine, top of the bottom almost. And then very gently hug both knees into the chest. Keep the right knee hugged into the chest. Extend the left leg along the floor. And then, however you get there, just roll the entire body, which is lifting off the hip. You might like to use your elbows to support you. Roll the entire body to the left. Holding the left, holding your right thigh with your left hand and your right hand on your right waist. Looking either up or looking to the right. If you really want to stretch out under your arms, you can open your right arm like a book alongside you, but again, that's quite strong. You can also bend the right elbow and just have your arm up behind you almost diagonally, or stay with your right arm on your right waist. Extend your left heel and just enjoy the stretch over to the side, to the left. I think I've got that right. Hope you followed me. And then very, very gently roll onto your back. Hug both knees into your chest. If you want to just dip your feet onto the ground to lift your bottom up and just straighten yourself out, please do. But hug both feet into the ground, hug both knees into the chest. And then extend hug the left knee into the chest, extend the right leg along the ground. And then roll over to your left leg foot can come on your right thigh if you want to. Roll over to the right. Left hand goes on the left waist. Right hand goes on the outer left thigh, looking up or to the left. Your hand can be up behind you if you want to open up under your arms a little bit more, or you can open your left arm to the left like a book. And then very gently bring your arm back wherever it is, roll onto your back again. Bend both knees, place the feet on the floor. Just even yourself out and then hug your knees into your chest. Still holding them, let them drift to arm's length. Hug the knees into the chest. Let them drift away. Hug the knees into the chest. So you're massaging up and down along the spine, along your lower lumbar vertebra, your L4 and your L5, which are particularly where we do all the heavy duty work and twisting and movement. And then just place the feet on the floor. And we're going to stretch the legs out along the floor in Shavasana, but then just relax the legs and bend up the left leg and open out the left leg to the left in lying tree. You can have a blanket to support under your left thigh if you need to. It's a very easy way to open the groin properly, because when we stand in tree on the mat, we often don't open the groin properly because we're so focused on trying to balance. Extending the right foot, and the left sole of the foot is towards the right leg, and it doesn't matter here where your left foot is. In a standing version, you're not supposed to put any weight on your knee, but here it doesn't matter because you're not putting any weight anywhere. And then when you're ready, hug your left knee.
Freezing to death over here.
Yes, I'm going to close it. Extend your left leg along the ground. Hug your right knee to your chest. Oh, thank you, Charlotte. I'm going to get up. And then open your right knee to the right. Lying tree on the right side. Opening the inner groin is opening your lower lymphatic system, and it's also giving space to the pelvis, so anyone concerned with menopause might enjoy this, because it's giving space, as I said, for the blood to flow into the for the whole lower abdominal pelvic basin area. And then just bring that back, hug your knees into your chest. And then the next one, again, it's Baddha Konasana. So you can do this either, we'll do both versions and you can see what you like. Hug your knees into your chest, slide your hands down to your ankles, and just hold your ankles and your knees open out slightly. And that kind of opens up on the upper part of the groin. I can feel that. So that's one version of supine Baddha Konasana. Breathing in, just engage the perineum, and breathing out, just relaxing it. And then if you like that, stay there, but if you want to try the other supine version, bring your feet to the floor, soles of the feet together, and you're opening up like a butterfly again, hands on the abdomen. And that's supine Baddha Konasana. If you're ever doing this at home, you could have a lot of support underneath your thighs. And it's also a very brilliant exercise for men and prostate health, giving space to the lower groin area, let the blood flow through. You can experiment with support under your head. You can also have support under your bottom, just lifting you up slightly. So you can really play around with that and make it almost a restorative pose. We're going to just taste, it's a taster, so we're going to bring the legs together, place the feet on the floor, hip width apart, and just a couple of pelvic tilts. So flattening the back to the floor as you lift up your perineum slightly, and then just releasing, bringing the tailbone to the floor so that you've got a little back, gap underneath your lower back. And just a couple of times your pelvic tilt. And then raise your arms up above you. They can be bent at the elbows, resting the backs of the hands on the ground. Again, now you're focusing on the upper lymphatic system. The more you bend your elbows, the less strain that is on you. So the softer it is under your arms. And then pressing down on your feet, lift your bottom off the ground into half shoulder stand. Chin into the chest, you lift up as little or as much as you would like, and then breathing out, lower the back down, keeping the arms above you. And then release, just relax, take a breath. And when you're ready, press your feet into the ground, lift your bottom again into half shoulder stand. Half bridge, sorry. And then just breathing out, lower your bottom back down to the ground. Lower your arms, hug the knees into the chest. And have the knees slightly wider apart, and then just rock from side to side. As you rock, your elbow might just touch the floor and then rock you back. And you're moving across your lower back, but also across the back of the head as well. And then just very gently come to hug the knees into the chest. And then just very gently come to relaxation. So either full Shavasana, I'm going to come up to sitting, or knees together in constructive rest, or take whatever position suits you. For anyone who's got some appointment or they're rushing, it is slightly over, it's 10 to 1, so if I do understand if you've got to rush, but otherwise just relax. And come to relaxing your face. And now come to bring awareness to the whole of the right leg. Right hip cup, to the right heel, sole of the foot, big toe, and little toes, and the space beyond the toes. Bring awareness to the left leg, the left hip cup, down to the left heel, left sole of the foot, left big toe, little toes, and the space beyond the toes. Breathe in. Bring the attention to the hip cups, groin, waist, pelvis, pubic bone. Relax the hips and have a sense of gravity, releasing the hips into the ground. Bring your attention to the whole of your right arm and the whole of the left arm. Your shoulders are relaxed. Your jaw's soft, your face muscles are soft. The shoulders are away from the collarbone, a sense of gravity. Bring your focus to the lower back, the middle back, upper back, underneath the shoulder blades. Relax the whole spine, vertebra by vertebra, from the tailbone to the lower back, middle back, between the shoulder blades, into the neck and back of the head. You bring awareness to the abdominal muscles, the lower abdomen, below the belly button, above the belly button, the right side of the belly button and the left side. Experience the whole of the digestive system relax as you breathe out. Relax your diaphragm, right rib cage, left rib cage, throat relaxed. Allow your lungs to relax. Bring awareness to your whole body, the legs, torso, arms, and the face. Try to look at your face and then let go. Your teeth are slightly apart. Feel the pulsation in the gums. Relax the cheek muscles, the eye muscles, the eyebrows. Relax your right ear, left ear, behind the ears, the right and left side of your brain. Bring awareness to the third eye and your eyebrow center, and then drop your awareness to your nostrils. And in your imagination, breathe in through the left nostril to a point in the center of your head. Breathe out through the right nostril. Breathe in through the right nostril and breathe out through the left nostril. Back in through the left to the center of the head. Breathe out through the right. Breathe in through the right and breathe out through the left. And then just let the breath go. And I read this poem the other day. There are more, but I quite liked this one, and it's short. And it's called Blessings. You are blessed today, ageless, radiant, and able. All day, every day, and forevermore, you command this earth that allows you to breathe. There is turmoil, there is sorrow, suffering, and fear. There is transformation, bringing the change you wish to see. Gratitude, forgiveness, compassion, and devotion consciously alter your world with a mystical measure of 1 degree. So come to be aware of where you are, and you can either do this lying down or you can come to a seated position. We're going to be rubbing the palms together, generating energy through the palms, and then just resting the palms over your closed eyes, and then sliding your hands away from the eyes and opening the eyes, coming back to where we are, the room. And then just rub your hands again and just smooth your aura down, your arms, your front, your side, just setting your energy for the day ahead. The next invitation might be difficult, or it might not be, I don't know. The invitation is to ground you, to bring you back to reality, to just rubbing the soles of the feet together, or connecting the soles of the feet together. And then release that. And come in your own time to a seated position, coming very momentarily to a cross-legged position. And just come to have one hand at the back of the neck and one hand at the heart centre. And then take the hand at the back of the neck and bring that to the navel. Just take a couple of breaths. And then take both hands at the heart centre. Take a bow for yourself for the day ahead.